low buy year 2026. I'm not going to do a full-blown no buy year this year, but still I have a lot of things on my list that I'm not going to buy in 2026, and maybe or hopefully some of those things I will never ever buy again, and some of them I won't buy in a very long time. So I collected 17 things I will definitely not gonna buy in 2026, and maybe you can get some inspiration from that for your own no buy or low buy. Maybe you were also completely overwhelmed in 2025 by the amount of clutter and stuff that piled up in your home, and all the hypes and trends on TikTok, and the hour-long scrolling and thinking, oh, I need this. And then you take a look at your home and everything speaks to you and everything needs your attention and you need to take care of your things and everything. So you decided to do a low buy year or a low buy year, whatever. Or you just decided on reducing your consumption. Not everybody has to do an extreme no buy year. Sometimes it's just good to be more intentional about your spending and to put more thought in like what you really want to have and what is just a hype or what is somebody else telling you what you need. So I already reduced my spending a lot during the last 2 years. I barely ever spend my money on new things, but there's always room for more. And I also have some things I from time to time splurge on. And because as a woman, financial independence is not just about earning more, it's also about only buying the right things and investing the money that I have left over at the end of the month. And being more intentional where your money goes to doesn't have anything to do with deprivation or sacrifices and everything. It's more like getting back to the point where you really see what's important to you and not what is important to other people. There's a saying, we spend more money on things to impress people that we actually don't really like. I hope I got this right. I hope you get the sense of it. English is not my native language. I can only tell you from experience that every item I did not buy, maybe I regretted out of 100 items, one that I didn't buy. Maybe it was a souvenir or something special that was only available at that time. But otherwise, we live in a society where you can get everything at all times. So there's no scarcity anymore to things. So you can literally get everything you want and anytime you want. I don't feel like there's something really unique and special anymore in today's economy because most of it is produced in China. Most of it is not really special anymore. Most of it is made out of plastics. So today I want to share those 17 things I will not buy anymore in 2026 so I can invest more in my financial freedom, stress less, and actually build wealth instead of clutter piles. And if you're listening to this video and think, oh wow, this sounds really cool and I really need to reduce the clutter and this overconsumption out of my life, I'm not maybe just consuming too much stuff, but also too much content, and my whole life is just a whole pile of overconsumption, then don't forget to sign up for the waiting list for my 30-day underconsumption challenge, where we concentrate on reducing not just our physical spending, but also our digital consumption, where we identify the stress factors in your life that can be too much clutter, decluttering your home, financial debt, or just digital overconsumption. So if this sounds like something for you and you really want to calm down your nervous system in 2026 by consuming less, then don't forget to sign up. So let's start with the list of my 17 items. So number 1 on my list is I'm definitely not going to buy any bottled water anymore. It's just too much plastic, too much money, and I simply don't like the taste. I'm a heavy water drinker. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. And here in the US, I feel like the tap water doesn't really smell and taste good. So in the beginning, I bought a lot of water bottles filled up in plastic, and this was not aligning with my values. So I bought an osmosis, what is it called? So I bought it's complicated to pronounce, a reverse osmosis water filtration system. And it saves me so much money. The system filters everything out of the water, like microplastic, pesticides, everything. And it's remineralizing the water in the end. And I don't drink any bottled water anymore. When I go out, I just take my water bottle and fill my water bottle with the filtrated water. And it saved me so much money and so much carrying the water bottles in and out. It's a good workout, but still, it was just really a good investment. So I don't buy bottled water anymore. I think it's such a waste on the environment and just feels better to drink the filtrated water in my home. Second is cookbooks or recipe books. Even my favorite cookbooks, which I really use often, still have dozens of recipes I didn't even start to try. And honestly, YouTube and Pinterest have everything for free. So I think I could spend 2 more years going every day through one of the recipes in my recipe books. And then afterwards, I still would have access to a massive amount of YouTube and Pinterest ideas and recipes. And if this should ever run out, then I can still go to the library and get some new recipe books. So I just simply refuse to buy any new recipe books because I think I collected more recipes than I can ever cook in my life. And let's be honest, usually every one of us has like 10 or 20 favorite recipes. We just rotate throughout the week anyways. Third thing is random toys for my kids. We either swap toys with friends and families we know. So we just pack a box with toys my sons don't really play with right now anymore. And then we just swap the boxes. And then when we swap them back after 2 months or so, they are totally excited to see them again because I feel like we have so many toys that they don't really need something else. We just need to rotate them sometimes. Sometimes I just rotate them within our home. So I put some toys in a box and then put them in the garage. And then after some time, I will put them back. And they always get so excited because they sometimes just forget how many toys they already have. And of course, for their birthdays or for Christmas, they can totally get something new. But I encourage our families always to look for secondhand items first, or I send them rather really specific wish lists on what they really need and what they really want so that we don't have another stuffy or piles of toys they don't really use or what they already have. And this results in less clutter, fewer meltdowns, and more savings for the kids and us. So another thing I'm definitely not going to buy in 2026 is buying more plastic clothes. So I really swapped a lot of clothes in my closet to natural fibers and natural materials because I feel like I sweat a lot in polyester and plastic clothes. And I feel like when you go shopping, even in the thrift stores, there are so many plastic clothes right now. And the material just doesn't feel good on my skin. I feel like they get worn off more quickly. So I tried to buy only natural materials like linen or cotton or something like that. I simply do that by going to the thrift store and reading the tags. Sometimes it's hard to find something in the thrift stores that is made out of good material because a lot of thrift stores just sell the good things already online. One of my favorite online shops is ThreadUp, and you can just filter by material, and you can also just filter the clothes so that they have still the tag attached or that they are in very good condition. And I feel like they always have such a good deal. And with one click, you are only shown the natural material, fibers and everything. So this is really a good way to find natural materials for a really good price. Next thing is cleaning products for my face because I got this cool makeup remover wipes. They came in a pack of 2. I think they were like $7 or so. And I already used them for half a year now, and I'm not going to use anything else for the future. You can just put them in the washer and they turn out totally fine. I feel like those will last me a lifetime. So no trash, no monthly restocking, and saves a lot of money. Number 6 kind of adds up to the makeup remover thing because I got this black charcoal soap for I think €3, $3, something like that. And it lasts so long. I've had this for a couple of months and it still looks like brand new. I already bought this last year and I think the whole soap for €3 lasted me a whole year. So combined with the microfiber towels, this is the cheapest way to clean your face. And my skin gets so much better because I always feel like if I'm doing too much with my face and using too much cleanser, too much product, then it's not really good for the skin. It actually has the opposite effect. And I feel like the beauty industry is doing that on purpose so that we buy more. Of course, it depends on your skin, but for my skin, it really is true that less is better. So the less product I use, the better my skin is. So I don't really have any pimples or big pores or anything anymore since I use only those 2 products. Number 7 is not really crazy for me as a German, but I feel like it was really crazy when I moved here to the US. Because what is wrong with you here in the US that everybody has like 10 water bottles? It's like everybody has their own collection of water bottles, and in the thrift stores, there are whole aisles full of water bottles. And I only own 2, and I bought 1 this year. I used to only own 1, but this one is made out of plastic, and in the summer, it's getting really hot here, so I wanted to have something that's keeping my drinks cold. So I got one really good a water bottle from Yeti, which was like $60 or so. It's really expensive, but it's really good. And now I think this will last me like 10 or 15 years. And I just swap them. If I'm going to the gym, I'm using the plastic one. And if I'm going hiking or something, I'm using the metal one. Those two are absolutely fine for me. I don't really need another water bottle. Another thing I really don't want to buy in 2026 is fabric softener, because I don't really see the point. It's actually made out of animal proteins, and this is kind of disgusting. I feel like it's just completely unnecessary because my clothes don't really feel better or worse when I use it or not. So I don't really see the point in using it. And if it's just for the smell, I started to put some essential oil in my washer. So when I wash the clothes, I just put like 3 or 4 drops of essential lemon oil or something like that in it. And then the laundry still smells nice. And I don't really see the point in buying any more fabric softener. Another thing is nail products. So I was never really a nail girly, but in 2025, I actually tried it for the first time to get my nails done. Or actually, I didn't go to a studio, but a friend recommended me some press-on nails with a really tight glue, and I tried it and I absolutely hated it. And I just don't want to spend $70 every couple of weeks to get my nails done. And I didn't really feel like it benefited my nails, so they actually looked worse afterwards. So I was hoping that the press-ons would protect my nails, but in the end they actually just looked worse because of the glue. I feel comfortable with my natural nails. I think the press-on nails worked really great. So if you're looking for a recommendation for good press-on nails, hit me up. I'm going to send you the link, but it's just not for me. So I got this transparent nail color, and this is the only thing I use once a week. And I think this is going to last me a long time. So no nail products for 2026. Number 10 is no hype or TikTok trend products. I deleted TikTok and Instagram from my phone, and actually the overconsumption on this app made me sick, and I always felt the need to buy this trend product and this looks cool, and we all fell at some point for one of those trendy products. I know. I did the same. I got this gua sha stone, and you can guess how often I used it. Once or twice, and then I felt like, oh, this is not for me. And so we have all been there, done that, and in the end most of these products end up unused. So no trend products for 2026. If I really feel like I need a new product or a trendy thing that came out. So right now, for example, I'm thinking about getting a Pilates board. I know that this is a big trend right now on TikTok, but I've been doing Pilates for a long time. I've been doing this for years. And so this is sitting on my wish list now for 2 or 3 months. And then I can decide if I really still want to get it or if I can just delete it from my wish list. But for me, no impulse spending anymore on TikTok hype products in 2026. Number 11 is buying books. I already mentioned the recipe books, but this goes for me also for normal books. I use the library. Library cards here in South Carolina are free. So I have literally access to so many books. There are actually more books alone in our library than I can ever read in my whole lifetime. And then there's the Libby app. So I can download everything in the Libby app and read it at home on my iPad. And they have so many good bestsellers. And oftentimes I just look up a book from an author I like and they have it. So sometimes you have to wait like a week or so to get it, but still it's saving so much money and I just love it. I actually try at the moment to leave my phone out of the bedroom in the evening and rather on Libby on my iPad instead. It's still a struggle, but I'm going for it in 2026. Number 12 is more a general thing. So in 2026, I'm trying to not buy anything new. So not like know that I will need some things in 2026 that are more than like groceries or gas. But I'm setting myself up to the challenge that I'm going to look at first for those products in the thrift stores, or if I can't find it in the thrift stores, then I'm going to look on Facebook Marketplace. And if I can't find it on Facebook Marketplace or anywhere else in a used condition, then I'm going to buy it new. Because there are so many products already on this earth, and it's not just cheaper, it's also better for the environment. Number 13 is trash bags. I won't buy any trash bags in 2026 because here in South Carolina, we get so many plastic bags every time we go shopping, or we get Walmart grocery deliveries from time to time. And I don't know how they are doing it, but they manage to pack like one product in one plastic bag. So I have plastic bags for like decades. I'm not going to buy trash bags, but use my plastic bags instead. 14 is notebooks. And I really have to emphasize this because this is really my weakness. I'm really prone to buy nice and cute looking notebooks that make me feel productive, but I still have so many from these merchandise notebooks, and they are still doing the job. I mean, if I really want to write something down, it doesn't matter if it's a cute, nice new notebook or if it's just like, it's paper, it's enough. So I'm actually trying to project pen my notebooks and my pens this year. So no notebooks, no pens for me in 2026. 15 is subscriptions. I have enough subscriptions. I don't need another subscription. I have a Walmart Plus membership, which is really helpful because I have a very packed and full daily, and sometimes it's just convenient when they deliver the food, and I like the fact that I'm not impulse overspending, overbuying when I'm in the store, so I can just like do it on my laptop. I have my grocery list, I have my recipes I want to cook, and then I order everything. They bring it to me at home, and in the Walmart Plus membership is a Paramount membership included. They have more entertaining videos, movies, and series I can ever watch in my whole lifetime. So this is totally fine for me. We have shared Disney Plus subscription with my father, and we have a Spotify subscription for like audiobooks and music and everything because I like to run and then I need my music. But that's it. And I'm not going to add any more subscriptions to this. Hopefully. Actually, the average American has 8 subscriptions and spends like $100 on subscriptions a month. And this is actually piling up pretty fast. So I'm trying to avoid this because subscriptions are silent wealth killers. You could also just put those money in an ETF and then, yeah, it grow and not decrease. Number 16 is decorative items. I got so many decorative items. I inherited a lot of decoration from my grandparents and from my husband's grandparents and from my mom, and actually rarely bought something for myself. My goal for 2026 is when I feel the urge of buying new decoration, I just gonna take what I already have and maybe redo it or upcycle it or like rearrange it a little bit and get more creative with what I already have, because I have 2 boxes with decorations still in my garage that I'm not using right now, but I still love it. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to rotate it a little bit throughout the year, like I'm doing with the toys. Yeah, but no new decoration for 2026. I want to include more natural and organic materials. So maybe if I find something nice in the forest, then I will maybe bring it home and decorate it in a nice way. But I really want to try to avoid to buy new decoration. Number 17, last but not least, upgrading tech that still works. This is actually a really old microphone, and my iPad has like the broken screen, but it's still okay. Like I can read on it, and my laptop is not the latest model. It's also like 3 or 4 years old. My cell phone is like the old one from my brother, but everything still works. Everything serves its purpose. So if it works, I'll keep it and suppress the urge of buying new technology just because it's cool. Because yeah, depreciation is not investing, and I like my money where I can see it on my bank account and not in technology. So this is it. These were my 17 things I stopped buying in 2026. Maybe you got some inspiration out of this video. I would really be super happy if you would subscribe to this channel, because my goal for 2026 is to hit the 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Feel free to upgrade me during the year, how your low buy, no buy, whatever your financial goal is, year is going. Maybe this video inspired you that minimalism isn't about like extreme or that investing is super hard. It's more like thinking realistically about what we already have and what really adds up to our lives.